Hello dear students, welcome back again to Chinmoy's YouTube channel. So till now I have posted two videos on some sample question papers of objective questions. So I think you are already doing those revisions. So please keep on doing the revisions on objective part 1 and part 2. If you have not yet done those revisions, I am putting the link above. Please go through it so that it will give you a basic idea of what type of questions you are going to have in your exam 2023. So today we are about to start some suggestions on diagrams. Taking the first part, we will be starting biology, basic biology and plant physiology. So let us see what is there in today's store. Now, in the first lesson, cell cycle and cell division, let us see what are the important diagrams. So first we should do the cell cycle diagram. Second, now you all know that in cell cycle diagram there should be all these phases mentioned: G1, S, G2, mitosis and cytokinesis. And there is a small zero phase also. You should mention all these phases. It should be done with a proper labeling. Then comes stages of mitosis. Stages of mitosis means prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. All these stages should be drawn separately in the stages of mitosis diagram. Now the third one is the stages of meiosis, in which it should be prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1, and next to which will come prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. So this is the main part which is very important for your cell cycle this year. Now next comes the lesson of human chromosomes. So what are the main important diagrams you should practice? See, they can give you to draw the diagram also. They can give the picture or the diagram also and tell you to label its parts. Or they can ask you mention few parts and they can tell you to write the function, write the properties, or like that different parts also they can label it and tell you to mention what are these parts. So you should be very much thorough with your diagrams. So in human chromosomes, the first one is the structure of the chromosome. The second one is the types of chromosome on the basis of the position of centromere. So if you have gone through my video of this human chromosomes, I have taught you specifically which each diagram of metacentric, acrocentric and telocentric chromosomes. So if you have not yet gone through that video, please go through that human chromosomes lesson through that video. I am putting the link above, and just revise that once again so that you can understand the diagram of types of chromosome on the basis of position of centromere. Now next comes the double helical structure of DNA, and please learn the label diagram of the double helical structure of DNA. Now next comes the lesson of genetics, where first you should learn the monohybrid cross, second the dihybrid cross. You all have studied about that. Not yet, those who have not yet gone through the video, please go through it. Please go through the video of heredity, where I have posted both monohybrid and dihybrid cross with a nice diagram. And students who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and share with your friends so that all of you can get the updates whatever I am posting. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Now next important thing in genetics is the sex determination in humans. Now this, if you are unable to do this as a flow diagram in a flow chart, that I'll be discussing in the next video, but try to do it at least. Take a sheet of paper in your book where you are practicing all the diagrams. Just make it a habit of doing the sex determination in humans. This chart will help you to do the genetics problem also. Now next one is, it's very important, that cross between a color blind male and a normal female. This also I'll be discussing in the next video, but please try it on your own, so that if you can do it on your own, you can cross check when I'm giving the answers. Now the next one is the cross between the normal vision male and the carrier male. So first one was the color blind male and the normal female, and this one is the normal vision male and the carrier female. So this is there in genetics. Now next comes the plant physiology. So the genetics, human chromosomes, all part, the main important diagrams I have already told you. Now when it comes to plant physiology, in plant physiology we have studied several experiments. So those important experimental setups are also very important for your ICSE 2023. So they can give you the experimental setup. They can ask you to demonstrate what experiment is this. They can ask you about the principle, they can ask you about the procedure, they can ask you about the inference or the conclusion what you are drawing from these experiments. So for that you should know the pictorial representation of these experiments, or rather the experimental setup should be known to you all. So please do practice these important experimental setups. It is very important. First one is to demonstrate osmosis by using thistle funnel experiments. Second one is to show the absorption of water through roots. So you all have your textbooks. Wherever these experiments setups have been demonstrated, go through it and please try to do it in a separate way, where there should be the principle, there should be observation, and there should be inference, and with the experimental setup in between. Now the third one is to show that xylem is the path of ascent of sap. So these are the three important experimental setups in the absorption by roots in the first part of plant physiology. Now let us move on to the diagrams of this lesson. Now what important diagrams you should draw in this lesson? The first one is the root hair cell. It is very important. They can give you one root hair cell and they can give you some parts also labeled, and they can tell you to write the labeled parts, and they can ask you about the functions of these individual parts. Now next one is the passage of water in root. The third one is the movement of water across the cortex. Okay, just make it clear when you are drawing, when you are doing these things, you should remember the labeling. The parts which you are drawing should be labeled properly. Now the third one is the different types of solutions: hypotonic, hypertonic and isotonic solution. So I think till now it is very clear to all of you that few experimental setups I have discussed in the previous slide, where I have separated those experimental setups from these important diagrams. Now next part in the plant physiology, we are moving to the next slide. Now in this slide, this is the second part of plant physiology, that is transpiration. So transpiration also I have divided into two parts. First one is the important experimental setups. So let us see in the experimental setups here what we should learn properly. First one is to demonstrate the transpiration. Second one is the bell jar experiment to show the transpiration. Third is to measure the volume of water uptake by a plant during transpiration with the potometer method. Okay, when the potometer method is used. So it is the uptake of water uptake by plant during transpiration during potometer method, that you should write, label and practice fully. Now the third one is to show that more transpiration occurs from the lower surface of leaf. There is an experiment where you have already done that more transpiration occurs from the lower surface of the leaf. Now after that we are moving to the important diagrams of transpiration. Now here some important diagrams of transpiration. Let us see what are the important diagrams of transpiration. First is the mechanism of stomatal transpiration. Second is the transpiration in plants. And third one is the stomata with their guard cells. Now all the diagrams should be done label diagram. Please do practice label diagrams. Whenever you are practicing label diagrams, what will happen? If they are giving you diagrams also with some label parts, telling you to label those parts, if you have practiced all the parts with labeling, when the diagram is also given with the labeling, you can write the name of the parts with their functions. Please while practicing, make a separate answer copy or answer book where you are practicing only the diagrams as per the lessons, as per the suggestions given, and it should be in a proper order, so that before the exam you can just do a quick revision, revise it and sit for the exam, so you can get good marks in whatever practice I am making you to do. Please do practice it seriously. Now here in photosynthesis also I have divided into two parts. First is the important experimental setups, and second part will be the important diagrams. So what is there in experimental setups? Now the first one is to show that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. The second one is to show carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. The third one is that oxygen is given out during photosynthesis. And last one is that photosynthesis provides oxygen for the organism. So these four are very important experimental setups. Please go through it properly, revise, learn each and every step so that when you are getting any of this in the exam, it will be very easy for you to answer. Now, next part, important diagrams of photosynthesis. First one is the structure of chloroplast, and second one is the vertical transverse section of a dorsiventral leaf. So this is all for basic biology and plant physiology. In the next episode, I'll be bringing about the human anatomy and physiology, the main important diagrams, what are the flow charts which are required in those human anatomy and physiology parts. So that I'll be discussing in the next video of sample question paper. So till then, keep on studying, keep on practicing, and please subscribe to my channel to stay updated with all my lessons, all my sample papers which I am posting now. And I can tell you that this all practice and revision session will be very much helpful for your biology 2023 exam to score good marks. Okay, thank you.